Hey, Shalom Akim. Yabashim Shabrakata, Bashim Kakadash. So, you already checked the news about the United States uh, building up their military might by getting bases in Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic, all in the so called name of fighting narco terrorism. Yeah, so it's just the true nature of Esau that you have to remember, according to the blessing our forefather Isaac gave him. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, it's just strange that a lot of folks do not understand that there's moments in prophecy that has to be fulfilled, and they're fighting against it. You know, this is the true identity of Esau, the true identity of the Edomite. Yeah, so they cannot live in peace without the sword. They just can't. You know, their character is bent towards the sword. That's the only reason you have to focus on, man, as the Lord has set forth. All right. So we're gonna read from the book of Genesis chapter 27, from verse 38. It tells you, and Esau said unto his father Isaac, all right, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
Ken Griffey Jr. is the king.
Yeah,
Bo Jackson Battle Arena is
yes,
back.
that's what happened when you use this Android apps, man.
Back. Legends born every time he rocks the turf.
Yeah, man, you're doing something productive, and then you still have to use the apps of Esau, and it becomes a hilarious moment. Yeah, so these Android apps, man, you know, they are very funny to use. So Genesis chapter 27, verse 39, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. So Esau's going to also have opportunities to have resources. All right. And then it says what? In verse 40, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brethren. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So once the Lord allowed the Edomites to be liberated from under our forefathers, or the Israelites, then they began to have a greater opportunity to live by the sword. You know, as the Greeks, and then they became the Greco-Roman Empire. You know, then they came back again as the so-called Ottoman Turks. You know, and then they came back as the what do you call it, the during the time of the Renaissance. And then they formed their so-called EU, NATO. All right, so ever since then they've been able to apply their sword to all the four corners of the earth, and that's how they're able to maintain their hegemony. Is because of the power of the sword. that the Lord blessed them with. Okay, and it's only the Lord that can take that power from them. No matter how divided the house of Esau is, the sword is still their blessing. All right, so you have to understand that our power, our hope rests in the words of the Lord, of Hamashiach Yahushai. All right. And then verse 40 says, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and thou shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So, yeah, so the Lord allowed Esau to take the yoke from off his neck to put it on our neck. So it's a change, in power structure that we've been observing all this time. So, you know how it is, man. Esau's doctrine, man, of ruling by the sword, the so-called Monroe Doctrine and all that stuff, he's applying it, and he wants to make that presence of his authority felt. Just like he's dealt with the Gadites in North American Indians, he has to he has to push that vibration all the way down to South America, man. And even into West Africa, North Africa, East Africa, South Africa, the Middle East, and all that, man. He has to push his influence. That's the reason why, we see a lot of trouble upon the face of the earth. All right, that folks that do no longer want to be under the yoke of Esau's rulership, screaming and yelling for liberation. The times of Esau's rulership is coming to an end, and he's nervous. So you're gonna have more scramblings around, for him to have a military bases, just like the Levi over there in West Africa. They don't want Esau to have military bases in Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, Chad, and all that stuff. This is gonna spread. So as you have that kindling of the spirit of what you call it, of liberation. Yeah, that stuff is gonna spread into South America, into the Northern Kingdom of Israelites over here. The so-called Latinos. So it's gonna spread, man. It's gonna be it's gonna come to a pushing point where the Northern Kingdom, are gonna take to the streets, man. That they're gonna say, what, we've taken enough. All right. So we're gonna see exactly how the Lord is gonna operate. So a few more precepts, and we get from the book of Psalms 55 and 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but woe was in his heart. His words were smoother. His words were softer than oil, and his words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Right, so that's Esau for you. He cannot live without the sword, man. All right. Even when you read the one precept above, Psalms 55 and 20, he had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenants. All right. So every brother in this ministry understands how he has dealt with the Gadites, man. Every treaty that he had an opportunity to uphold, he always went against it. All right. So at the end of the day, you're just gonna have commotion, and you just see that there's no confidence within himself. He cannot hold himself up without stirring up conflict. His spirit is a bloodthirsty spirit, man. He cannot seek peace, as the Lord want peace upon the earth. So, end of the day, he has to disturb the peace. That's Esau for you. You know, that's Esau for you. He cannot allow peace to dwell upon the earth. And that's the reason why you had the red horse in the book of Revelation, chapter 6. So let me just read this real quick. Let's see. In fact, just get it real quick, man. Revelation chapter 6. All right, here we go. Six and four, Revelation 6 and 4. Gustav, verse 3. And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, Come and see. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. So that's Esau's rulership, man. That's Esau's rulership. He cannot let go of the thirst to be on top without violating the peace that the Lord wants upon the earth. All right. And let me see, get one more precept. Let's see what else. Yeah, just one more precept, and I'll wrap it up real quick. Yeah, so the book of Psalms chapter 34 and 14 says, Depart from evil, right? Psalms 34 and 14, Depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. All right? That's the reason why, we have opportunity of salvation, because this is the guiding light of the elect, man. It tells you what? To depart from evil. Shun evil. And do good. Seek peace and pursue it. Seek after the Prince of Peace. All right. So that's the the conclusion of this lesson. Just wanted to make it brief, because you could see, man, Esau can't just admit that it's his end, man. He wants to go out with a bang, so he has to stir up controversy. All right, so the U.S. military is reopening key bases in the Caribbean. Hegsets in Dominican Republic as Trump weighs next steps in Caribbean. All right, U.S. strikes in the Caribbean. Dominican Republic backs Trump's war on drugs. Yeah, there's so much. Esau has been the main engine for drug trafficking upon the earth. You could look up all the operations of Esau using his government agencies to facilitate drug trafficking. And then you also have the miscarriage of justice and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, man, the path, leads to his downfall. because that's what the Lord has predestined. So all these speaking tours is just the path to Esau's downfall, man. And this is what Esau's downfall is also connected to the times of Jacob's trouble. So you have to learn to understand both by looking at it through the same lens. All right, the times of Jacob's trouble. So the northern kingdom will have to deal with it, man. Only the Lord of Mashiach Yahushai can stop Esau from going any further. So that's the point of this lesson of Baratazar. You've been edified and, stay in the spirit. Shalom.